Another important thing about hucking is thinking about the edges, the angle of the disc. We can throw flat. The problem with throwing flat is a lot of times if there's a wind, the wind will move the disc around. We can control how the Frisbee moves in the wind by putting an edge on it. So we can, if we're right-handed, we can throw an inside-out edge for backhand or an outside-in. For flicks, we can throw an inside-out edge or an outside-in. And the benefit of this, if the wind's blowing this way, I want the top part of the Frisbee to be hitting the wind, so the wind will force it to come down. If the wind's blowing this way, I don't want it to be like this because I go to throw and the wind will blow it over. So a lot of times when people throw, the disc starts off fine and then it gets blown away. And that's because they're not controlling the flight of the Frisbee in the wind, they're letting the wind control the flight of the Frisbee. So it's really important to control the flight of the disc using the edges. Same thing if the wind's blowing this way, we don't want an outside in because the wind's going to blow it over, we want to put an inside out. If the wind's blowing directly at us, it's very tough to throw like this. And so what we have to do is we have to control the Frisbee a different way. What I like to do, and what most people do, is when the wind is in our face, when we're going upwind, is to put a really high inside out edge on it. And for me, sometimes even when I'm pulling, and even sometimes when I'm hucking, I'll put so much of an edge that the disc is almost vertical, and I'm releasing with it vertical, but the wind is so strong that it will turn over. And so experiment with that before the game, get out and practice those hucks, and just to try and feel for the wind, because you don't want to be in a game. Try and huck it, maybe with a little bit of edge or no edge, and then have it blow away. We want to be able to control every single throw that we put up in the air. Same with our flicks. So really important, and you'll even see some people when they throw, and there's some pictures of me throwing where I huck, and I'm actually throwing like this. And I'm getting my whole body engaged, so I'm getting a lot of power and snap, but I need that inside out edge. I can't do it from here, right, because I don't want to drop my wrist, so I have to bring everything inside and I power through it. And that's how you get a lot of distance on your throws. If you can learn to throw in the wind with those edges, if you can put more spin on the Frisbee, you'll be one of the most important people on your team because you'll be able to throw in the wind. Your team will count on you. You'll be the one that, if it's a stall 9 and you need to huck, you're the one that can put a huck upwind. That can actually get some distance. There's a lot of teams that don't really have that person because someone hasn't practiced enough, or they don't really think about the edges. The edges are one of the most important parts of putting a disc in the air and getting that nice spin. So you may have the right edge, but if you're not putting a lot of snap on it, it's not really going to go anywhere. So make sure you're putting a lot of snap on it and getting that right edge on it.